Welcome everyone to another YouTube video. If this is your first time tuning into one of my videos here on my channel, my name is Stef and I'm the Psychic Soul Empowerment Coach for spiritual women and men who want to reach their potential in life, live life much more authentically, and manifest their amazing soul desires. That's how I help people. Now, I support my clients with being able to achieve this via very deep levels of healing work known as shadow work or inner child healing work. And as my clients peel away layers of limiting beliefs, fears, insecurities, traumas, etc., they're then able to be more of who they truly are in life. They're then able to pursue their purpose if they desire, or their mission in life. They're able to feel so much more confident and empowered in their ability to manifest their desires and feeling worthy of them. And things just start flowing so much more effortlessly. So that's how I help people. Here on my YouTube channel, my content is typically around the topics of mindset, manifestation, healing, spiritual entrepreneurship, spiritual activism, my own personal experiences, energy readings, conversations that I have with friends. So if these things interest you, then I would really love to have you subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell notification button, and change your settings to all so that you never miss out on when I upload new videos, because I just show up whenever. But I usually do my best to upload the energy readings either on Sunday or Monday of that week. Before I get into today's weekly energy reading for this week, I want to first and foremost give my little announcements that I do at the start of every video. If you want to skip past the announcements, there are timestamps in the comments of this video below, pinned to the top, that you can click on. But I would really love it for you to stick around for my announcements, because I always have new things to share and say that might interest you. So number one on my list of announcements is that I have a video coming up this week on a conscious conversation that I had with my friend Brittany Fontanez. You may know Brittany from a couple of classes that she did recently for my communities on discovering your worth and reparenting the inner child. If you haven't yet checked them out, you can go check them out in the card section afterwards up here. I will connect them there, or link them there for you to go and watch. I really love the classes, and it's just very powerful content. I really love the one that we did on reparenting the inner child. So yeah, Brittany and I got together last night actually, but you're gonna get this on Sunday, so I'm recording this on a Friday. And Friday night actually, that's why there's like shadows. But anyway, yeah, so we got together to connect and just chat about certain things, and I already could tell that the conversation was just going to be interesting, as it always is. And I had been mentioning how, like, I feel like I need to do my conscious conversation videos again. I need to do my conscious roundtable conversations again. And I just, mentioned this to Brittany, and she was like, hey, hit record, let's do this, let's chat, and just share it with people. So we went ahead and did that. It was super impromptu too. I was revising the video today, and I saw that I didn't appear for like the first part of it because I probably low-key didn't want to be seen on camera, because I was so tired and it was late in the day and I was looking a mess. So maybe that's why I disappeared from the camera initially, but then you see me in the later part of the video once I play around with the settings, because this Aquarius can never stop playing with the settings on the technology. So yeah, that conversation had a lot to do with inner child work and being more of who you truly are, and embracing your self-expression and finding joy in your life and by yourself. And that's really what the topic was about, what we ended up wanting to share with others. So make sure that if that's something that interests you, if you struggle with finding joy, if you struggle with loneliness and you feel like you always need to be with people to feel happier, to experience joy, or you struggle with figuring out what truly lights you up and stuff like that, I would really love to have you check out that conversation when it comes out later in the week. Probably on Wednesday I'll release it. And yeah, you can listen to us then for that first impromptu conscious conversation of the year. And I'll probably have more conscious conversations and conscious roundtable conversations this year as the year unfolds. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I'll put the playlist up here for past conscious conversations and conscious roundtable conversations. They're separate things. The conscious roundtable has me and 3 other people, and the conscious conversations is just me and another person, So I'm really excited about that. And you can definitely recommend or suggest to me what you would like for me and my friends to have a conversation around, and then I can just decide whether I want to do a roundtable version of that or just like me and someone else and we just talk about that. And you can benefit from our insights, our experiences, our wisdom, and our thoughts or perspectives on the matter. So yeah, that's my first little announcement. I'm really excited about that. And my announcement number 2 is that if you haven't yet signed up for my support group, this is a support group that I'm doing and I'm holding once a month around the 15th of every month to really just create a space for people to come together and to be able to have people hold space for them, to support them, to love them, to encourage them, to be there for them. And, just for people to really feel like they're not alone on this journey. Because, being on this spiritual journey can sometimes make you feel like you're all alone or nobody understands and you isolate yourself or you feel isolated, and it can just cause you to spiral sometimes. And so I just really wanted to create a space for people to just come together, be heard, be seen, be embraced as they maybe encounter difficulties in life. So if you haven't yet signed up for that, my support group, all relevant links that I mentioned today will be in the comments of this video pinned to the top for you to go and check out. But I would really love you to come and join us. And I'm going to be releasing an official video sometime this week with just me sharing like my intentions for the support group. This is a video that I didn't intend to do. It was actually part of a call that we had with the Awoke community. So if you don't know what Awoke is, hopefully I can add the card up here in the card section on YouTube. Otherwise, maybe I have too many cards up here already because you can only add 5. So it'll hopefully be in the comments of this video. You'll have it one way or the other. But Awoke is just an amazing, free, independent platform for spiritual people and people who are on the personal development journey. And anyway, we have weekly calls, and on one of those calls we were discussing my friend who unexpectedly passed. It was a really beautiful, amazing young man who was just about 27 years old and just had so much to give to the world. And I'm only assuming or guessing that maybe the toll of just the spiritual journey just got to be too much for them. And anyway, that's why they decided to check out sooner than maybe was intended for them. And we were discussing that on the call a little bit, and my intentions for my support group. And I just really wanted to put out the official video for people to really just see like where I'm really coming from and where I can speak more in depth on this, and to just hear certain messages that I brought forward that day for the group. Unexpectedly, it was just coming from the heart. And I just want to put that video out there for anyone who may be interested and who maybe need to hear some of the things that I said that day. And Maggie, the founder and CEO of Awoke, gave me permission to use that little clip for my video. So yeah, you can expect that later in the week. And I will link that video to the official sign up page for the support group when I have it uploaded. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. The next thing is that if you are in my Awoke community and you don't know how to use the Awoke platform yet, or you're still getting familiar, or maybe you're interested in joining Awoke but you don't really know what that's about, I'm going to be creating some tutorials. Maybe they'll release this week, I'm not exactly sure, but these tutorials will kind of explain to you like how to use the platform when you log on, and for you to kind of see visually what to expect in this platform in case you are interested in joining but maybe you haven't made that jump yet. It's a really amazing space. The energy is just so amazing there. And yeah, we would really love you to come and join us. So I'm gonna do these little mini tutorials, hopefully do a desktop and phone version, but I'm not entirely confident with the phone version. But it'll be on one video. But yeah, my intention is just to kind of show you what to expect and to explain it a little bit more in depth, so that you can know how to navigate it much more quickly and easily, and And yeah, if you're curious but you haven't joined yet, maybe that's the little push you need to kind of come and join us, right? So yeah, that's basically, I think, my 3 announcements that I wanted to make. Oh yeah, one last one. If you haven't yet purchased my 2022 yearly energy reading, this is my year-long, month-by-month energy reading, and it's really just so powerful. The guidance there is mind-blowing, and it's just helping me personally so much, and helping, I'm sure, the people that are going through it themselves and using it to their advantage, by just guiding them and supporting them month by month as the energy unfolds. And basically, the weekly energy reading is completely different from the monthly energy readings that I do here on YouTube. I did the March 2022 energy reading. I don't think I can put it up in the cards though. Maybe a link in the comments of this video, because too many cards. I can only add 5. But yeah, the paid yearly 2022 energy reading is spot on, specific, practical action steps that you take every single month to navigate what shows up your way in order to use that to your advantage and really reach your potential each and every single month, and support you with much more powerfully aligning you with your goals and intentions for this year. So that is the purpose of the 2022 yearly energy reading. If that's something that interests you, again, link to sign up and purchase it is in the comments of this video. And I would really love to have you join us and be a part of that, because it's gonna really just be so supportive of you and make such a difference in how your year unfolds. So yeah, that's basically it. Those are all my announcements. Hopefully all the background music of Lima, which is like tea kettles going off and ambulances and loud cars and stuff, hasn't been too distracting. But yeah. All right, now we're finally ready to get into the weekly energy reading for February 27th through March 5th, 2022. Like, can you believe we're already going to be in March, or we're in March? Well, you're going to get this in February still, but it's crazy. Time is really flying, and that's all the more reason to really make the most of your time and really, like benefit from guidance, for example, like the yearly 2022 reading that can help you to really know exactly like what is it that you actually need to pay attention to, so you don't get distracted by all like the wrong things, or just put your energy and time and effort into things you really don't need to be doing, and to actually be laser focused on what actually matters and moving forward in that direction, right? So yeah, because time is just moving so quickly and you want to make the most of that time, right? So yeah, the March 27th through March 5th energy reading is the following, okay? The message that I got for this week is that the spirit guides want everyone to know that this week they want you to consider it as an adjustment period. And what they mean by that is that you're kind of crossing the threshold between the old and the new. And so it's like you're in this new, but you're adjusting to it, okay? And so this week, many of you are going to be making changes to your behaviors or your habits or your routines or rituals, so that they're more supportive of who you now are or who you are becoming, right? And so as you're implementing all these new things in your life, and by the way, sorry if my blurry, it's not light, it's nighttime. But anyway, what they said is that as you're implementing these new like shifts that are supportive of this version of yourself that you've become, or that you're like still in the process of becoming, you're in that transition. So recognize that it's a transition for a reason, and that you need to embrace any trial and error that comes up for you this week. You need to be willing to experiment and not beat yourself up or take things too seriously, and just be like, oh yeah, this is just a period of transition. Like, of course I'm gonna mess up here. Of course I'm not gonna stick to this routine as well as I thought. Or of course, there's these little bumps along the way, or whatever it is. Like, I'm still in the process of transitioning, right? And that's okay. Extend yourself grace, extend yourself compassion as you go through this transition period. And don't be strict with yourself or super rigid. with these new things that you're implementing in your day-to-day or as part of your new way of life and being. Okay, you're adjusting. And the reason that they're bringing this message forward for this week is that so many people who are watching this video, at least whenever you watch this, are people who are so much more committed and determined and empowered. And because they're more in this kind of energy, it might cause you to show up in a way that's like too strong, like you come off too strong in the world. And I got an image of Wolverine in a way. I don't remember all the X-Men movies, so forgive me if I'm getting the details wrong. But if I remember well, I think Wolverine did sign up to be part of that like top secret military operation thing or whatever that he got into. He didn't know what to expect, I think, but he knew it was like something top secret or whatever. I don't remember the details, okay? But the point is, like, he accepted something and because of those shifts, the experimentation and everything that happened in his body, like, it wasn't that they like put these powers into him and then all of a sudden he jumped up and he was good to go. Like, his body was not well for a minute and he needed this time to like recover and process until his body was strong enough to continue to, you know, go about his life and his day and be who he is. And so like that period where he was kind of unwell after they performed the operation or the experiment on him or whatever, like that was his transition period in a way. And so this is the same kind of thing for everyone here, is you're going through a kind of transition period because February was asking us again and again to step into greater levels of our personal power, of who we are, of being more of this bold, empowered version of ourselves. And so we have made the shifts this month to step into this new version of ourselves, or to much more concretely recognize that we're in a different version of reality, or we're going to live a different reality, or we're going to be differently, right? And so as part of that, there's this transition that you need to be gentle with yourself with. And so take it easy. Give yourself permission to take it easy and not do too much or take too much on this week to try to, you know, be like, no, we're here, we're doing it. And I like get caught up in that sometimes too, because that was me at the start of February. Like sometimes I have these bursts of energy. I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart. And so sometimes the energy will affect me to want to go like head on and like do things and get things done, and I'm just like so empowered. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And then I'm like a little busy Energizer bunny trying to do these things, right? But then I read the guidance from my 2022 yearly reading, The Paid Offer, and I forgot what it said, but it reminded me to not get distracted with a bunch of little things and to focus on what really mattered, something like that. And I recognized then that all of this energy that I was feeling, like this energized energy that was just coming through me that wanted me to like tackle all these different things, I was able to really snap out of it and recognize, hold on a second, I don't actually need to do all these things. You know, I'm just doing these things because I'm feeling all of this energy driving me to get things done, and I just want to tackle as many things as possible, but I actually don't need to do all of these things. Like, what actually matters here? And then I just focused on that, and I was able to steer myself in the right direction instead of like burning myself out or getting caught up with just unnecessary work or activities, right? And so sometimes, you know, we can feel bursts of energy, or we feel a certain level of strength or confidence inside of ourselves that makes us be like, yeah, I'm going to tackle the whole world. I'm going to like conquer. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it might drive you to want to like do all of these things, take so much on because you feel so strong inside of yourself, right? But again, this is like slow and steady wins the race. This is you not taking too much on, being gentle with yourself, compassionate, experimenting, you know, making mistakes, trial and error, like just figuring out what your flow is this week as you step more powerfully into this new reality, into this new version of yourself, into this new way of doing things. Like just seeing what works for you, what flows for you, and letting that be okay. letting that be part of your process instead of getting frustrated with yourself potentially and being like, no, but I'm this new version of myself and I have to show up this way and I have to do these things. Because we can put a lot of unnecessary pressure on ourselves. Like, I definitely have a tendency to do that sometimes, like my high standards, high expectations, like my committed, like, what is it? Work commitment? No. What is it? I can't speak English anymore, people. I need to go and read books in English again. I need to go move back to the US. We're working on that. If you can pray for me that my whole immigration situation works out so that I move back to the US this year, I would appreciate that. But yeah, like my drive or my commitment to my work, like sometimes it's just like, and I used to, especially in the past, like beat up on myself when things didn't flow the way that I wanted to, because it's like, no, I would say things to myself like, no, it's time to like be someone new, or like I'm tired of this BS and da 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 da. And granted, there are moments where that's appropriate, where you have to like commit and decide and push through and move forward, etc. Move beyond the resistance, all that jazz. But this week is not one of those weeks. This week is a week for you to recognize you're in a period of transition. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay if things don't flow as smoothly as you wanted them to. It's okay to still get tripped up or whatever it is. Like, you're transitioning, you're figuring it out, you're getting into the groove of things. And be gentle and compassionate with yourself, and don't push yourself hard, or more than is necessary, more than is appropriate, So that's what this energy this week is about for you. I really hope that this has helped you. And I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards now and see what additional messages we get. So I'm going to pull these out. These like overturned and they were getting in my way of shuffling, so I figured, all right, this one wants to stick out. So the first couple of cards that we got, oh my God, do you see this? New beginnings. Okay, this is validation for me. Because when I originally got this message, I was like, what are y'all talking about? Am I hearing y'all right? Like, are my psychic antennas working? Is this really the weekly energy reading for the week? But that's what I got. And this is confirmation. We're in the process of new beginnings. Do you see how he's like about to jump out of this doorway or whatever? Like, go from one place to the next, transition. Yeah. And take a step back. Oh my God, confirmation. Take a step back, Thank you, angels, for helping me to step back from what's not serving me. That's what the card says. And this next card is, oh my God, Freya, phases and cycles. If you did not watch my March 2022 energy reading here on YouTube, like, Freya came up for that, right? And this is just like all on point. Like, thank you, Spirit, for confirming my messages for this week. I appreciate it. But, this is all just confirming like what I'm talking about here and what I mentioned in the March 2022 energy reading. We're in this period of transitioning. Like, we're in a period of going from one cycle to the next, like closing out a cycle, stepping into a next cycle, right? And so, just be mindful of that. And that's why you have to have this compassion. Oh my God, there is a turkey vulture that just flew on the roof of this abandoned building outside the apartment building where I live at. And this one looks like ginormous, bigger than the other ones I normally see. Maybe that's a message for someone. Google spirit animal turkey vulture and see what messages you get and which resonate with you. Because turkey vultures are also kind of like about death in a way, like transition in a way, or like alchemizing. But anyway, and there's like a black bird on her shoulder, a crow, and it kind of looks like a crow, but not really because it's a different shape. I'm like so ADD sometimes, but anyway, yeah, so it's just really interesting how this showed up just now. So back to what I was saying, this is why it's really important for you to have compassion for yourself and not be hard on yourself this week as you go through transition and things don't flow potentially the way that you want. Because, oh my God, that's what the March 2022 energy reading is all about too. Because the reason for that is like you're figuring out your groove. You're switching out of one pattern, one way of being, one reality, and stepping to another one, and that takes a little bit of time to acclimate to. That takes you a little bit of time getting used to that, this new way of showing up online or showing up in your day-to-day, these new activities that you're doing. Like, you're not going to do them perfectly, and it's just part of life, part of the journey. And so yeah, when you stumble a little bit along the way this week, like, just know that that's part of you closing out the old cycle. And when you stumble a little bit, like, make sure that you're handling things from the consciousness of who you now are, of how you now show up in the world. So rather than sit there and beat up on yourself about it or get frustrated or angry or whatever it is, how you would normally maybe respond or react to things, like, show up from a higher, like, perspective, show up from more of your personal power, see it in a way that is truly beneficial to you. And know, like, okay, when you handle it differently, that's how you're closing that cycle much more powerfully. And when you choose to be conscious in those moments, that's when you are, by being conscious and aware of how you're handling it and choosing to respond differently, you're doing your part to close out that cycle and step into this next one with so much more ease and grace, and really cementing that much more powerfully, or anchoring that in much more powerfully. Does that make sense? And yeah, these cards here are just basically just revalidating, what I said about taking a step back and away from behaviors and mindsets and ways of being that belong to the old chapter, to the old you, the old self, and not letting those old things come with you into the new, like you're transitioning into the new. So recognize this week, when old things come up, old frustrations or whatever, judgments, criticisms, etc. Recognize that and be like, hold on, this is not really, serving me. This is old me. And, now that I'm this higher version of myself, how do I choose to handle this now moving forward? How do I choose to see it? How do I choose to respond to it? And then go ahead and do that. That turkey vulture is making a ruckus out there. I don't know. They just want attention or something, but so yeah. Oh, look at these birds in the back too. Like, it's just so symbolic. They're probably seagulls or something, but symbolic of the turkey vulture as well. Birds, and then wings. Oh my God, there's wings everywhere. So yeah, that's basically the message for this week is step away from the old things, not serving you, old patterns, etc. Be gentle with yourself and choose to step into the new, approach things from this new way of being, okay? So that's basically it. If you enjoyed this weekly energy reading, I would really love it and appreciate it if you could give this a thumbs up, a like here on YouTube, as that helps my channel. I always appreciate it when people like my things on Facebook or other platforms, but it just really makes a difference when you actually engage with me here on YouTube, because that supports my channel and supports me being able to reach other people. So I would really appreciate if you could thumbs up this video here on YouTube, and if you could drop me a comment in the comments below letting me know how this message resonated with you today, what your insights were from this, or takeaways, or what you plan on doing differently this week, etc. Because maybe you know yourself well enough to know what potential things could trigger you, or like your old mindsets and things like that, and how you intend on shifting that moving forward. And yeah, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please be sure to do so. Hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell notification button, change your settings to all so you're always notified. And I think that's basically it. So thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate you. One last announcement, if you didn't hear in my last video, I am going to be doing classes in March on leadership with my guest expert. These are people that I invite once a month to come into my communities and to support my communities with something that I am guided to support my community with. So there's going to be some amazing classes in March around leadership, and if you want to access those classes and be a part of them live when we do them, then I invite you to come and join me on the Awoke platform. All relevant links are in the comments of this video, and that's where you can connect with us and be a part of those classes when we do them in March. Otherwise, you can just wait patiently for them to be put onto YouTube, and that's basically it. So thank you so much for your time. I will see you in another video. Take care. Bye.